Hey guys, welcome to Pregnancy and Postpartum TV. Today I'm going to take you through my journey, my story about how I healed my 4-finger diastasis recti gap up my midline after my second pregnancy. Like many moms, months had gone by. I think it was about 9 months, and I still felt like I looked 5 or 6 months pregnant. I actually felt like my organs were falling out of my body. And before I was a pregnancy and postpartum core exercise specialist, I know that I made a lot of mistakes. So during my pregnancies, I did things that caused diastasis recti, and after I did things that made it worse. So I'm going to talk about all those things and from what I did early on when I found out to start my recovery, and then how I advanced my exercises and increased my load, because you can't really do heel slides and toe taps forever. You want to be able to progress back to regular exercise, keeping your core strong and safe. So I'm going to take you through that journey with me. I also want to make a quick comment that just because my belly is flat now when I am contracted and pulling my core in doesn't mean that my belly is flat all the time. These high-waisted yoga pants are also amazing for how they look, but I also don't want you to think that I walk around with a totally flat tummy all the time. So if I was going to pull these down, and if you're thinking about if I'm slouching at all and I'm letting my belly go under my sweatshirt in the evening, my bellies are normal, my organs are there, but they're not coming out of my midline anymore. So I do try to have good posture and keep it up, and these pants definitely do help, but I just want to say that bellies are normal. Diastasis recti is an intra-abdominal pressure problem, meaning that there's too much pressure in your abdominal cavity pressing out. So on top of doing exercises to help heal and repair, we want to avoid having too much pressure pushing out on the linea alba. First, I fixed how I moved throughout the day. I started being aware when I was lifting my kids or I was lifting anything heavy, not to bear down and let my core bulge out. So instead, when I'm lifting something heavy, I exhale and contract before I lift to protect my core. I also realized that when I held my kids, sometimes I would push my stomach out to help prop them up, and so I made sure that I wasn't doing that anymore. I also stopped sitting slouched, because when you're sitting slouched, it's pushing more pressure together and it's more likely to come out, pushing those muscles apart. Also, when I'm standing, I'm making sure that my ankles, my hips, my shoulders, and my head are all aligned, and I'm not letting my back sway forward too much. And of course, I stopped doing traditional ab exercises that put too much pressure. So full planks, traditional sit-ups, things like Russian twists. I also avoided anything that would stretch it out. So doing any anchored twists where you're pressing your hand and twisting it deeply, as well as back bends. The second thing that I did was change my breathing. So I started using a 360 breath. So breathing in 360 degrees all the way around my ribs, or you could also think of it as an upside down umbrella opening up. And this allows me to keep contracted here, keep this pulled in, and breathe more into my ribs and back ribs. This is especially helpful when you're exercising and you want to protect your core by keeping it engaged. I also used a postpartum belly wrap. So I felt this was really helpful to when my organs felt like they were falling out. It made me feel much more supported. I only used it for a couple of months during the day and during exercise, and then I wanted to wean off of it. And then I started using physio tape instead, which was just a reminder to contract. So you're not going to be able to stay contracted all day long. You're going to need to relax your muscles as well. But if off and on throughout the day, you are contracting and using those muscles, pulling them in, it's going to help your repair and healing and strength overall. However, if you are first work on your posture and you are sitting tall and your belly is relaxed, it's not going to cause the same bulging as if you are hunched over. The next step is going to be to add in diastasis recti healing exercises. So these are going to be the core exercises focusing on gentle healing the transverse abdominis muscles, things like heel slides and toe taps. Of course, I have a whole playlist of diastasis recti healing exercises. I'll link to it there, also in the description box. If you're looking for a step-by-step instructions, I have a 30-day diastasis recti healing course that allows you to progress until you are fully healed. The next step is going to be increasing the load on your abdominal muscles so that you can get back to your regular exercises and function in daily life without being affected by your diastasis recti. So one thing that you can do is you can add in a breathing trainer or a balloon. So first you want to test yourself and make sure that you can do this safely. So when you blow up a balloon, I want you to take a video recording of your core, and you're going to exhale, contract your pelvic floor. Make sure that you're not getting any bulging through your midline when you do this. So inhale in. So once you've done the test, then you know that it can be safe for you to add in a balloon or a breathing trainer. Then as you're doing your exercises, you're going to blow up the balloon on the hard part of the move. Let's get on to our backs, getting down carefully on your side. So you can bring your heels in. We're going to do a heel slide and add in the balloon. So I'm going to blow into it as I engage, activate my pelvic floor, and then slide my heel down. The very last step is adding in back the exercises that you used to be able to do and making sure that you're not getting any bulging or coning down your midline or sinking in either as you're doing the move. So you want to start slow, slowly progress, and try and add in these extra exercises. Knowing how to breathe and engage your core will also allow you to progress safely to do these exercises. This part may take months or even years to progress, and there's certain exercises that I still wouldn't do. So for example, if I'm laying on my back, lifting both legs up, it doesn't feel safe for me to lower them both down and then hover them low near the ground. But there are so many other great ab exercises, and so that is not a problem for me. I don't have any symptoms. I feel like my core is strong and engaged. The sort of 5 to 6 months pregnancy belly has gone away. I don't have any back pain, and I also don't getting any leaking a little bit when I run or jump. I'm going to put all of these steps into a guide, which you can grab from the description box below. Also, make sure you check out my Diastasis Recti Healing playlist. And if you are looking for a step-by-step walking through daily videos on how to heal your diastasis recti, I will also link to my course in the description box below. And I will keep making postpartum workouts, yoga, Pilates every week. If you like videos like these, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and share this out with another friend that you think would be helpful.